Hello. I'd like to talk about a couple of my favorite products here. Um, in general, I don't like to be a brand fanboy. I like to evaluate each thing on its own merits, and I generally don't think there's a best of anything. Some of you may know I'm a really big fan of the Saiga shotguns because, honestly, that does almost everything I want a shotgun to do and almost nothing I don't want to. That's still got some room to improve. Here's a product that I think has extremely little room to improve, and that is the Spyderco knife. Specifically, the Clipit Endura model and the Clipit Delica model, which is the smaller version of this. Now, as it happens, this one here is a limited run G10 collector's model. It was about $200-ish. I didn't pay that for it. And it's the wrong one to buy. The one you want is actually the basic version. You want the 4th gen VG10 steel full flat grind plain edge. That's the right knife to buy, either in the Endura or the Delica size. If you want to spend a little more money, the ZDP 189 is about as good a steel as you can buy for about a third more. You're going from extremely good steel to 3% better steel. You know, it's sharp. Okay, so the one you should buy is this one. This is the standard Zytel scaled, very lightweight, perfectly balanced. What's great about this knife is they got the big things right and the little things right. It's got good blade, good shape of blade. It's got extremely good steel. It's very light, it's very thin, it's balanced in the right place, unlike, oops, there we go. There's a moment to save for YouTube. This one right here, which is handle heavy. It's robust and well built. It's got stainless liners, which you can't see. They're just as thick as they need to be, with bronze bushings at the pivot point. It's solid. It has an extremely solid lock, which they put in the right place. It's up here, not down here, so it's a natural reach. You're not going to hit it by accident. You can very easily hit it intentionally. They put the clip in the right place, with a little dent to locate your hand in the right place. Very, like I said, they think out the small details right. You can move the clip to the wrong place up here if you want, or on the opposite side in the wrong place, or on the opposite side in the right place if you're a lefty. Okay. So, the other things they did right is the handle is slightly sloped forward, not straight like most knives. That means you don't have to torque your wrist down. All those 1911 guys should be familiar with this concept. This is what's known as a handshake grip. It is much less stressful and makes for more natural cutting. Whether you're cutting hard, doing clean slices, almost anything, it's better. The only thing it's not better for is detail cutting like this. It's a little bit further slope, but even that's not too bad. As you can see, doing a normal cut, oh look, it's right in the belly of the blade. Perfect. That's exactly what you want. Notice it's also the right curvature. It's very thin, so there's not a lot of drag. And oh yes, it has, bar none, the best opening device on any knife. I realize I'm talking in superlatives, which is not usually what I do, so I'm going to show you why I think this is the perfect opening device. First of all, notice, hopefully I frame this right, that it sits low in my pocket and all the way back. That means it doesn't stick me in the side when I sit down in the car. It also means it doesn't catch on things generally. I have had a seat belt slide under the clip and steal my knife from me for over a year before, but that's kind of unavoidable with a pocket clip knife. Now, I know Microtech or somebody else, or maybe SOG, makes a couple knives that they put the clip all the way at the base. Good on them. There's always a little bit of room to grow, but there's very little with this knife. So why do I like this? Very natural. Notice why I say the clip is at the right end. When people put a knife in here this way, you've got to reach and grab it in a very weak place, open it, rotate your hand down. Here it's in the right place. Oh, also notice how easy it is to close. in one clean motion. You can also gravity open it, or if you prefer pinch, pivot, pinch, or gravity open it upward or down, all kinds of ways. Obviously, like any other lockback, it's just well balanced to do. Now, sadly, this version, they biased in terms of staying closed, so it's actually very difficult to gravity open. You can do it, but it takes doing it right. Also notice the clip is in the right place to hold that securely while gravity opening it. Again, perfect. They get the little things right and the big things. So, comparison in size between the Delica and the Endura models. There you go. A lot of people prefer the Delica. Let me move the camera back up here. A lot of people prefer the Delica model here. I prefer the Endura. Neither of them are big in your pocket, neither of them stick out of the way. They're both extremely thin. But that's okay because there's belly right here, which allows the handle to protrude in your handle and makes it feel big in your hand. The Delica is brilliant engineering in that it feels bigger in my hand and more useful as a knife than a lot of bigger knives. Another one I would give props to for that is the Gerber Magnum Jr. That was a tiny knife, but it was as useful as a lot bigger knives because of good ergonomics. While we're giving props to other knives, I really like the Benchmade Axis Lock. I wish they had this with an Axis Lock. That would be one of the few things that I would consider an actual improvement, but this is not bad. So, easy to open, easy to close, easy to put in your pocket, easy to get out. Steel that just doesn't quit, the right blade profile, the right blade shape, everything's just right. You can make a much prettier knife, you can make a collector's piece, but you can't make as useful a tool as this. At least I have not seen it. And I'd be pretty skeptical if somebody claimed it. Anyway, that's my thoughts on the Spyderco series of knives.